Rideshare buddy out on the road, helping each other lighten the load. Tips and tricks, yeah, the knowledge flows in this grind where the journey glows.
Hi and welcome back to the channel. This is Rideshare Buddy UK. My name's Kevin, and today this video is all about Maestro, how to install it, how to set it up, running some filters, and then show you some examples of how it operates in the field. So we're going to get on, we're going to do this. A couple of things that you need to worry about, or not worry about, but be aware of with Mystro. Maestro doesn't do a lot of its processing on your phone. It intercepts and takes it off to another area, another phone to do the processing, I believe. This is why you get a notice from Uber saying that another account has logged into your account. You don't get that with Maximo. Maximo tends to do the processing within the app on your phone. Maestro tends to take it off your phone for processing and their own servers. I've had, when I install Maestro, I'll get a warning saying another account has logged into my Uber account. It's an iPhone account from Leeds. It might be different depending on where you log in from. This is also why when you log off, you get a warning from Uber saying contact support. It's nothing special, nothing to worry about. It's the same warning you get if you're outside your region and you try to log in. You won't let you log in until you're back in the region. This makes me think that Maestro does GPS spoofing. Don't know for certain, not really sure. And of the two, probably Maestro is the one that's more likely to cause issues with Uber than Maestro, than Maximo, which doesn't do GPS spoofing. You're much more likely to get flagged. And the other thing is with Maestro, because it does this off-site processing, Uber thinks that there's two accounts operating on your account at the same time, and you get a lot more, and I do mean a lot more, requests for photographs for security. So you could be mid-trip and you'll get a please do a photograph, or you'll log in and it'll say please do a photograph. And that happens a lot more than you do when you're using just Uber or when you're using Maximo. So that's an issue to look out for. The other good thing about Maestro though is that it can be used on both Apple, iPhone and also Android Google phones. The big positive about Maestro though is of course it's free in the UK. It costs about $5 a month in the US, but because it's of limited use in the UK, I mean you can only really use it with Uber, Lyft isn't here. So there's no way really of doing multi-apping with it. So for that reason, it's probably free because there's not a lot of users, and also you can't use it in multi-apping. Totally different to Maximo, which of course charges £7.50 a month, which I think is probably a little bit steep, considering you can't only work with Uber. You can't multi-app with it because it doesn't work with Bolt or anybody else in the UK. So I would probably be happy to pay £5 a month for both, well, either one of these, just to help me out with Uber. It takes such a lot of pressure off the brain in doing calculations. So £5 I think a month is probably about the maximum I would justify paying for either Maximo or Maestro in the UK. If I was in America, I'd pay more because you got your multi-apping with Lyft. So that said, that's an introduction. Let's now get on with going through installing the app and the settings. I'll put in some filters. I'll do the example of running around in the field later today. At the moment I'm at Tesla at Cribbs Causeway doing a charge up. I've got a pickup at Bristol Airport to come back to Cumberland this morning, so this afternoon I'll come out and run Maestro, and we'll see what sort of things it does in both auto accept and also manual mode. How do you tell if the job's worth doing if you don't have auto accept and auto decline on? So let's load up Maximo and see how we go about loading it. We'll look at the filters and we'll look at some issues. Okay, so let's have a quick look at installing Maestro. We'll go to the Play Store, do a search for Maestro. Maestro driver, that'll be the one. And just simply install. Doesn't take long, it's only about 21 megabytes large. So it's fairly quick to come down and fairly quick to install because it's quite a small app. Right, so let's open up. So let's just skip. Oops, there's a Maestro skip. Need to allow location, yes, while using the app. Notifications, next, allow. And then the overlay settings. You need to allow overlay for Mystro. So let's open it up, display overlay. Which service do I use? We only have Uber at the moment. They are going to be dropping some of these, Flex, Spark and stuff, but we only have Uber. Lyft is using the 3-day system. Whether or not it'll go over to the Lyft system so this will work with it, I don't know, but it's not in our area anyway. So let's go Uber. Next. And we want to go direct. So want to use review linking. Direct. So I'm just going to make a pause while I log into Uber and link the account. Okay, so I've just logged in and we'll come back to accessibility disclosure. So open settings, we need full accessibility. You are supposed to just have the one Maestro access service on. I'll switch them both on. You're not supposed to need both, but I use both. I seem to find it easier and more stable if I switch both
Uber
on.
offline.
There you go. So Uber offline. What I also got when I was logging on was the notification from Uber, little text message saying, or little pop down message saying, we've noticed you've logged in from a different device. Is this you? So that's really, I think when you log in through Maestro, it is actually off your own phone and goes via another server, and that server does all of the work. That's all I think. Whether or not it does GPS spoofing, I don't know. So we'll just watch that. So that's it. We're all done. Uber offline. So let's look at the filters because there's nothing else to do. Basically, you got your drive, which is what you use for your main screen. You have your history. This is what I like about Maestro. You have accepted, rejected, and other. So you just flick between the 2 or 3, and you can see accepted on all the jobs you accept, rejected on all the jobs that's been rejected, and other tends to be bids on Trip Radar, which you don't win. So it doesn't come under rejected, it comes under other, and various other little things come under other as well. So you will also get America. This is not for the UK. So let's go back to settings. All of this is pretty much okay. Location is done. Notifications, accessibility service, and system settings allows you to turn it all off. So there isn't really any settings for Maestro itself. All of the settings come underneath the type of get rid of that, get rid of that, get rid of that. Let's reopen up Maestro. All of them comes under your Uber or your Lyft, if you have Lyft. It'd be interesting if anybody is using now has free now on that Lyft has just taken over. See if Lyft recognises free now settings. It'd be interesting to find that out if anybody wants to let us know. So all you basically now do is to log on, just hit go.
Turn on Uber.
Tells you
Uber
to turn on
offline.
Uber. You hit go. And this is it. Take a photo of yourself. Happens a lot when you're using Maestro because it thinks you're in another area than you actually are. And because you've got two apps, well, two local devices, now logs into your account. So let's do I can't do it because I've got my screen recorder on. So let's turn off the screen recorder. I'll do my face recognition and we'll come back. Okay, so I've logged in now. I don't need to turn off overlay permissions on
Uber online.
switches over to the main Maestro automatically. I don't need to turn off overlay settings like you do with Maximo for Uber. Maestro does it automatically, so you don't have to deal with that. Maestro stays up above the Uber anyway. So let's have a look at filters. You got auto accept and auto reject. Let's just move my camera down a little bit. So let's go auto accept. Add filters. So I'm going to go fare today. We'll do $1 per hour today. I'll do pickup distance and user rating and ride type because I don't want to do Uber share. But let's have a look at this zoning. Now with zoning in Maximo, you could have different zone areas. So you could have 3 or 4 different zones to reject or accept. In Maestro, you can't. It's just the one. So all you can do is draw, done, save, and that's it. That's all you can do with Maestro. You can do pick up and drop off zones. I've been told, or I've read on the Discord group that they are planning on bringing out multi-zones that you can put on the map, but you can only do that with Maximo at the moment. So that's it. Ride type is we want to get rid of the share, we want to get rid of reserve. So let's have a quick look. These are all the ride types we've got. Can't do XL, don't want share, we don't have UberX VIP. I want priority, I want teen, I don't want reserve, got no extra comfort, got no black SUV, got none. Black Hourly got none, black SUV Hourly none, black teen, Premier SUV, Uber Green, we've got no Uber Green here, we've got no Uber Green teen, we've got comfort, we've got no comfort electric, because we've got no electric, you've got business comfort, no, package, no, delivery, no, shop, no. I don't want to do Uber Pet at the moment, I don't want to connect, don't need Spanish, and I don't want delivery. So that's it. So I'm just selecting comfort, UberX Teen, UberX Priority, and UberX. Fare needs to be more than £5. Let's move this out of the way again. So £5. I don't want the per hour. I want the per mileage rate. So per mile. That's it. Again, it says dollars, but it's actually not dollars. What it is that's pounds, and maximum of 2 miles. user rating is 4.
Uber ride for approval.
So let's reject that because I'm not yet ready to accept 127. So user rating is 4.5. Dollar rate has to be more than 160. And then with Maximo, what you had to then do is auto rejects and do it all slightly differently. But on Maestro, auto reject, switch it on, and Maestro will not. Oops. And switch it on, and you have Maestro will reject all offers not auto accepted. So that's all our filter set up. Fairly straightforward, fairly basic, and fairly easy. You got rejected. We had that rejected Uber teen. I'll let it go off, and it failed filters as well. Filters it failed was job type, Uber teen. Pickup distance. I'm sure I had the Uber teen switched on. And also pounds per mile. So this is a good thing that I like about Maestro, which you don't get with Maximo. With Maximo, you don't get full job details. So if I had accepted that job, then Uber would come up on screen. We'll see this when we do accept a job. And once you accept the job and you start moving, you can't see in Uber the full details of the job. You don't know where you're going to be dropping off at. With Maestro, this screen stays in the app, so you can flick out of Uber and into Maestro, and you can see where you're going to be going because it shows you. But we'll have a closer look at that when we start doing some examples. Those are the settings. Very easy to set up. Much easier to set up than than Maximo. That has so many settings which don't really work, and you really have to try and sort out a good one, which is why I did that optimize settings section at the end of the Maximo video, because a lot of them don't work, and you really have to play about with different settings to get them to work. With Maestro, very simple, very straightforward. Nothing really to go wrong when you do the settings. So let's now flick on jobs and see what sort of jobs we get.
Accepting Uber ride. Offer expired.
Yeah, I think you just saw on that last job that came in just how long it can sometimes hang on trip radar matching. It just hangs there and hangs there for a lot longer than it should really. But apart from that, it works pretty much smoothly, pretty much okay. It is just the occasional trip radar where you could possibly lose some jobs coming in because the app just hangs. And I think that's partly due to how the processing is done off your phone, because it's got so much more travelling to do from your phone to the server to back to your phone. But I'm not sure exactly how it works. But yeah, it just hangs. Sometimes just hangs on the trip radars.
Make a slight left turn on command.
Okay, I'm just going to do one more job because I want to show you the last job function on Maestro. Now, Maximo has one of these, but it doesn't really work. I tried using last job function and it just kept giving me more jobs even after I'd ticked it. So, this is just going to be one more just to show last job on auto accepts. And then we'll have a quick look through as to what we've accepted, what we've been declined, and then we'll run Mystro without the auto accept and auto decline and just get the notifications of the value of the job. So once we do that, that'll be calling it a day.
Accepting Uber ride.
Right, so we have a ride. We want to make this last ride, so let's just flick through to Maestro, and here at the bottom underneath the ride details you have last ride mode off. Just press that, switches it on, and we're now into our last ride mode, and that will stop taking any new requests, and we're away. Right, we've had a few trips accepted, a few trips rejected and stuff like that. So I've switched off. I'm going to head off to Asda and Dufferin, mainly because I'm getting a little bit peckish and getting a little bit hungry. It's now 10 to 3. So grab something to eat. Then we'll go through the jobs that I've done, jobs that were rejected, and jobs that went into the other section. To see what sort of things we've done. I've done about £35. Maybe, I don't know, a couple of hours maybe, I don't know. And then, what I'll do, I'll switch on, I'll switch off auto accept, and I'll switch off auto reject. And then we'll go through and see what it looks like, the app, when it's in manual mode. Now, manual mode, it pops up a different display than your Uber display, and if I remember rightly, it shows your cost per mile, cost per hour, and job value, and then it shows the normal Uber job card. It doesn't have, if I remember right, it doesn't have red or green or anything like that to show you what jobs to accept or what jobs to decline. You just have to decide yourself, but you do have all the value and all the information you need to make that decision. But let's get off, get myself something to eat, get myself something to drink. We'll go through the scorecard of what jobs we've done, and then we'll do the second part, which is all about manual choice. Right, I've had something to eat, I'm feeling better. Let's have a quick look at the history for today. Press down at the bottom. So as you can see, we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 jobs have passed all the filters. 184, a mile, 188 a mile, 214 a mile, 265 a mile, 248 a mile, 188 a mile. I set the filters at £1.60 a mile. I find that does quite a good job at keeping me busy without doing those really low pound or sub-pound a mile jobs. Now I chose £1.60 a mile because that's like working a local base at £2 a mile. Local companies charge between 20%, about 25%, and I believe they do now charge 30%. So at £2 a mile, if you lose working for a base charging 20%, you're earning £1.80 a mile. If you're charging 25% commission, you're earning £1.60 a mile. If you're working for Vaser at 30%, you're earning £1.40 a mile. So £1.60 a mile works out about £2 a mile at base rate. I have a £5 minimum charge as well. So those are only 6 jobs I've done so far today. Let's have a look at the rejected jobs. There we go. We have a 131 a mile, 149 a mile, and 137 a mile, plus other declines. Filters failed 2, filters failed 1, filters failed 3. So now let's have a look in the other. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4. So 139 a mile, dismissed. 160 a mile, did fail. I think that's probably, let's have a quick look at that. Pound per mile, 160. Well, actually accepted at 160. Maybe it failed on something else, but 160 is not a problem. So 277 failed, and that would probably be distance. Well, a fare was £4.16. I have a minimum of £5, and again 190. So I think that's not matched. Yeah, that was trip rate. I say it's not matched. That one above just expired. So we've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 successes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 failures. So about 50% success rate at £1.60 a mile. So it knocks out all of those really sub £1 a mile jobs and stuff like that. I could sort of push it a little bit upwards, go for around the £2 a mile at some stage in the future. Should still get some work, but it won't be as frequent or as busy as it is at £1.60 a mile. But during rush hour, when there should be surges and Fridays and Saturday nights, I would definitely be looking at setting that filter at £2, £2.20, maybe even £2.40 a mile. I wouldn't be driving for anything less. So now, let's get rid of those auto accepts. Let's turn off auto accept, auto reject, both off, and now we're running manual. So let's go back online.
Turn on Uber.
Now remember with Maestro, you don't need to go to settings and turn off the let Uber.
Uber online. Uber ride for approval.
114 a mile, I'm going to check that. So
Offer expired.
and it's going to be a manual choice now. What was I about to say?
Uber ride for approval.
153 a mile. I was just down the road. Let's accept that. It's a little bit low, but it really is just down the road.
Head to your pickup at Intellectual Property Office.
It doesn't work very well when you've got your Uber on top on a job. It does have a little bit of iffiness, but it still works. You just got to be patient, let it run its course, and the app will do the business on auto accept and auto decline. Just takes a little bit of time. The problem with Uber is that it's notification sound overrides your audio settings. Otherwise, what I would do, I'd just turn down the volume on the phone and notifications, but it overrides that. It comes in at full blast. Whatever you do, it's not good, but it's the way Uber likes it, because it gets on your tits and you want to make some sort of decision. So that's not great. But let's get off. Let's start today's job. Well, the second session, and get down to the IPO and get this job sorted.
Uber ride for approval. Offer expired. Uber ride for approval. Offer expired.
Uber ride for approval. Offer expired. Uber ride for approval. Offer expired. Uber ride for approval. Offer expired. Uber ride for approval. Offer expired. Uber ride for approval. Offer expired.
Okay, so that's it. We've done the video on how to set up Maestro. We've installed it. We set up the settings for Uber. Very simple to do. Nowhere near as complicated as Maximo. And we've done some real world testing. And you've seen it working in auto accept mode. And you've also seen it working in manual accept mode. So that's it. Hope you like it. That's your two major apps in the UK at the moment to help you with your Uber. It's either Maximo, which is Android only, or Mystro, which is available on both Android and also Apple. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Next time I might do a video shortly on comparing the two, the best and the worst of both. pretty much level pegging, really. Probably just Maestro's just probably nudging it purely on cost grounds. Maestro doesn't cost anything in the UK, costs in America but not the UK, and Maximo is £7.65 a month after a 14-day free trial. A little bit too expensive in the UK because there's no option for multi-apping, but it's still a pretty decent app if you're prepared to pay the money. Runs a little bit smoother than Maestro, so either one really can really help boost your earnings by about 30% if you go by auto. If you're doing the manual options I've selected, make sure you don't select things outside of your remit just because you think there's nothing else going. That's FOMO. That's what Uber wants. Uber wants you to start clicking on low-paying offers because you might start thinking maybe there's nothing else coming out. There will always be something else coming out. So thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed that. Happy driving. Make a profit.